game.
What is up, my pizzas? Cory Vincent here, and you are in store for a brand new episode of the Video Game Bang, Sacramento's #1 geek and gaming podcast. If you guys are wondering what's going on, you got the news show coming at you on Saturday because last Wednesday we had Bang of Thrones, and this man was right there with me. David Webb, what's up?
Yo, what is up? I have three things. Number one, I almost introed the show. It was really close.
You got confused. I saw you caught yourself.
I did. Two, I have my horses in the back, and I'm running up the
Oh, he did it already. You scallywag.
This is not allowed.
She's always got the horses in the back. What's up, Nexy?
What?
I literally spit out my juice.
I'm like,
I think
excuse
the
me?
mic is okay.
Oh, God, what have I done? I'm so sorry. It wasn't meant to be anything like that.
I'm like, wait.
Oh, wow.
It was merely a reference to the song. I caught that it was just a reference.
Do we need
I
to
thought it was still.
Should we restart the episode?
No, leave it in. Let's just keep going.
Kidding me?
Oh,
Go.
I'm sorry, everybody. She does not have the horses in the back.
And she doesn't want to be here anymore. Nexus.
Yeah.
This is a great start to the show. My
Wow.
mom's watching.
His mom is always watching. Curtis Fisher, what's
God.
up?
Oh, nothing. Just, hi, Mom. How's it going? My mom, too. And hi, Nexy's mom.
Yeah, while you're at it, Nexy's mom is in chat.
Yeah,
Hey,
she
Nexy's
is.
mom. Hey.
And by the way, for the record, I've got the horses in the back.
All right, there we go.
Right.
What? So this is the internet memes? Is that what this is?
But basically,
From the kids?
more or less.
Is it a meme?
Yeah.
No, I mean like okay, so it's not meant to be a serious song.
Oh, the song
Oh,
itself.
the song. Yeah, I mean, to me, the song is a meme.
I thought it
How
was.
could it
That's like
not be?
thinking about like Nickelback. Nickelback's a meme.
With arms wide open.
That's not.
That's Creed, huh?
Back. Yeah, that's
Ah.
Creed.
That's the same. That's the same.
Yeah, I'll give you that. They're
Hey,
pretty much the
real
same.
talk though, there is at least one badass Nickelback song, and,
Look at
and we
this
will play it on the after show.
photograph. Nailed it.
Which
I got
one
there,
is it?
actually.
I have. Oh, it's called Breathe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it better not be that one about getting rich. You know I want to be a rock star.
No,
I hate
no.
that song.
You know, it's so crazy.
I will walk out of a store.
Yeah, well, yeah.
When
If
that
that
one
song
comes
comes on, it's weird because I remember when Nickelback started to get popular, and it was like on a bunch of X Games stuff, and like their music was dope. So the first song that they had when they got popular, I was like, oh, that's a little different. And then the second one, I was like, oh, they've already sold their soul. And then like a year later, everybody finally started getting tired of them.
Yeah, we all knew.
Yep.
This horses in the back thing. So, part of my job is social media. I have to know what the kids are doing these days. And so I downloaded and installed the TikTok app.
No.
Has anybody done that yet?
You know what? I've been really
dare
damn
you.
close. What was that one that everybody was doing a while back? It's basically the same thing. You lip sync to it. They had a bunch of
Musically?
Music.
No, I don't think it was Musically. It was something else because I remember they had sound clips of Archer, and that's what I did. Obviously.
Are you talking about Vine?
It wasn't Vine.
Huh.
No, I'll have to
Only
think
other
about
one
it.
I can think of is Musically.
Musically, yeah.
Because
Let me look
Musically
it up.
turned into TikTok.
Pretty
I hate
much.
that I know this. Well, they like it owns one of them owns the other now. I don't know.
Doesn't surprise me.
As
a
if I was the first one to pioneer in this brave world in the room, I actually think it's worth the download.
No.
You could really sink a lot of time just into scrolling through these little short bit funny videos, and then you start getting pretty good. Like I've only had the app for 2 days. Day number 2, I can already see what's happening and know whether this is gonna be a good one or a bad one. You just go to the next one, and you just feel it in your gut. Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Okay,
Oh,
so
God.
truth time. How many have you made?
None yet. None yet.
Oh,
They have
no.
so many good ones in there, though, and that was the one that caught my attention. So I was like, "Oh, what is this song?" You start looking into it, and apparently, this song by Lil Nas X
Yes.
was got popular.
Dub
and
Smash.
Dub Smash. There you
Dub
go.
Smash.
That's
Okay,
what it
I
was.
remember
Yeah.
Dub
Sorry.
Smash,
Okay.
I remember that one.
They ended up charting on the country charts on the
Yeah.
Billboard.
Yeah.
And then it got taken. They reversed the decision.
Yeah.
They pulled the call back. What do you think? Was that the right call?
I personally think it was like it's total, like the lyrics for the most part are like totally country themes. But yeah, like overall, like musically, it does like it does not have like musical country elements at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's sections for that. It's called pop. You know, the ones that kind of blur and you don't really know exactly what it is. It's not quite electric. It's not quite hip hop. It's not rock. It's pop.
Sure.
Hearing that was on a country station was a bit like, you guys remember, Nexy might not, but do you guys remember the radio station Quad?
Yeah. Quad 106.5?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it was like all rock. That's all you heard. You heard rock music, some variations of rock, but rock music.
Yeah.
And then I remember the first time they played like Eminem on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Was that a
What's
mistake?
happening?
Yeah, like,
So they hit. That's what hearing that song on the country station was.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Who listens to the country station?
I don't. But side note though, Cowboy Troy has been making kind of similar music for a while, but his is more guitar driven and leans more to the countryside.
I will admit, there's one country song that I really like. I've liked it since I was probably in 8th grade.
Okay.
Can we guess it?
You can try it.
Let's all take one.
See if you can guess.
Wait, is it old school country like Johnny Cash? Or is it
No,
like
it's
modern?
not old school. It's
Oh.
more like kind of like the more rock, poppy almost. I don't know if poppy's the right one. More rock.
Achy Breaky Heart.
Nope.
There's mine.
I'm clueless. He's looking it up.
I'm looking at the artist.
What's
Is
the
it
song?
Garth Brooks?
No, it's called Chicks Dig It.
Chicks dig it.
Yeah. Chris Cagle. Chicks Dig It. Chris Cagle.
Chris Cagle.
And it's the funniest song to me because it totally describes some of the dumb shit I would do as a kid. Like, it starts out talking about this kid who is standing on top of the backyard shed with his dad's belt and the drapes like a cape.
Oh, okay.
And was trying to impress a girl by jumping off like he's flying. And then talks about how he broke an arm, but he got a kiss out of it, so it was okay.
You know, I've never even heard this song, but I can already tell it's a good country song because
there's tragedy.
that's all you need. What do they call some chords in the truth?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's
So as
words in the
long
truth.
as you
Let's
got a
play in
couple
the
chords
after
in the
show.
truth.
Let's
Okay,
play in the
yeah.
after show.
All right.
I hate country, but I'll get down on some of that good storytelling. Well, I knew a man who came to me and he looked me in the eye and started to cry. You know, like that's the one where you're like, oh, I'm invested.
It's a story.
Yeah, that's true. I like when they're like that, but and then I like the more rock. It have a little bit of twang, but I want more like the rock in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But telling a story.
We have some sponsors. Oblivion Comics and Coffee.
KCI 100.5.
Come for the comics, stay for the coffee, and now beer as well. They're going to be doing a lot of cool events coming up. They have a Jeopardy style that a couple friends of ours do.
The MCU.
Yep, they're doing the MCU, and then shortly after that, we're going to be doing a one that's out of this world that will be relevant near the first week of May. So
there's two things. I'm glad I'm A, tone deaf, as Emma has reminded me multiple times. And B, I only did one note of the song because I thought you were going to announce it and I was going to do the theme.
No.
But because I don't know keys, you're not going to know what that song was going to be.
Nope, no one can guess which out of this world franchise we're going to be talking about around May 4th.
It's Mary Poppins.
It's Mary Poppins, everybody. Also, you can check out our other sponsors, Vast.gg and Mainframe.gg as well to get them clothes on your back. What else? What's going on? We got if you guys listened to the last Wednesday show, it was Bang of Thrones episode 1.
Episode 0.
Episode 0, yeah,
Episode 0.
technically. And we thank you guys for taking a listen to that one. We already picked up some of those patrons who are going to be in there, the first to hear the new series. And it's going to start this week because Game of Thrones starts. It'll be out by the time you're listening to this.
Yeah.
I'm so freaking excited.
I am too.
We're going to also have an appearance. So since when this goes out, you guys will have missed it. But you can go to check it out. Sacramento's own Good Day Sacramento. They're going to be doing some segments on Game of Thrones, and they invited the video game Bang to go out there and represent our friends at Oblivion and do our trivia.
Yeah.
Just like we did before.
I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're going to be up at 9 a.m. on a Sunday, which is
whoa.
kinda,
No, way earlier than that, dude. We got to be there at 8.
So David and Emma are going to be doing Good Day Sacramento. No, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that. VGB will be on your TV screens talking about Game of Thrones with the awesome people. That's a staple of Sacramento. Everybody knows Good Day Sacramento.
And I bet you that they have like segments on their YouTube channel. So if you're listening to the podcast right now and you missed it yesterday, look it up on YouTube because it might be on there.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun for us, too. And then any other business to take care of before we get into it?
Oh, we can do a shout-out for Emma's charity stream.
Yes! Yeah, she's crushing it over there.
She, thanks in, like, main part to Taylor in chat right now.
Yeah.
She crushed her goal. She had a goal of $1,000 this year. Last year was $500.
For SPCA, correct?
Sacramento SPCA, yeah. Last year, she had a goal of $500. And she went way past that and got like over 1,000. This year her goal was 1,000, and within the first hour was up to 1,500.
Good Lord!
She hadn't even started playing a game yet. She I tuned in around. It started at noon. I tuned in around 12:30 after Taylor messaged me, and yeah, she was just talking about the SPCA. She's like, I haven't even started Spider-Man yet. Like. It was pretty crazy. The last time I saw, she was at 2,000.
She's currently at $2,135.
Damn.
I have a goal of 1,000.
Yeah.
I guess if you're watching this stream, I mean, we don't want to take away from each other's viewership, of course, because she is probably trouncing us at this moment anyways. But any amount of money that does get donated during today's show, we will pass right along to our friend Emma just to help and support what she's got going on. It's really cool. She does it every year, and now she just keeps raising the bar.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens to her next year. All right. I think that's it. We got nothing else to talk about, everybody.
Time for the
Good
after
show.
You guys,
Good show, everybody.
all right.
I got my horses in the bed. That's our new exit song.
Oh no! What you playing theme song?
What you playing?
Wow! Where did that come from?
What you playing?
That is, of course, the What You Playing theme song. We haven't played it in a long time, so I think
haven't.
now it's the time. Now's the time to bring it back. We're going to do a little round of What You Playing. Curtis, what you been playing, man?
Still on my
NBA
NBA
2K.
But
But-
like David Webb knew it.
You got some real-life NBA news, though, we could, I guess, talk about. This is Sacramento's #1 gaming podcast. We can't not talk about what happened this week to the Kings.
Oh yeah, are you talking about we're well, actually a few things happened. One, Vlade Divac got an extension on his contract.
Okay, is that good?
That is very good in my personal opinion. Two, we fire a coach that same day, and we fired an assistant GM who our coach and that GM got into it, so they're gone. We parted ways with the media relations person, but that was mutual. And then today we already got our new head coach who just got fired from the Lakers.
We picked up Luke Walton?
We picked up Luke
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, they'll make it
You
official.
can't have a
on Monday.
Laker coach the Kings?
Well,
never listen to him.
then we can't have a Laker GM the Kings because Vlade was a Laker before he was a Sacramento King.
And we have a Laker kind of co-own the Kings, too. Shaq.
Yeah, this
Shaq
is
is
true.
the co-owner of the Kings.
Yep.
Damn.
But hey, if we're
Ultimate rivalry.
two things. One, since he was a Lakers coach and now he's here, we're definitely beating the Lakers now because we know all of their secrets. But no, I mean, I'm indifferent about it.
So the Kings seem to be have their best year this year.
Yeah,
In a long
Like,
time.
in a long
yeah.
time, like since like the classic Kings since Vlade was a king.
This is true.
Back when Nexus was in diapers, literally.
This is
Maybe even before.
probably-
She actually was. What year were they good? 2001?
that's around.
Yeah,
what it's-
2001,
that was like the
2002.
second year we were
Yeah.
good.
Emma, how old were you? I mean, not
That's
Emma.
Nexy.
Nexy.
Yikes.
I was 2 and 3, and I was 2 in 2001. I just turned 20.
Nobody knows how to respond to that. All right, so it's been a while
child.
since that we've been good.
when Carl's Jr. was giving out those bobbleheads that we all have in our house,
Yeah.
she was 2. Think about that. Holy shit.
It's the truth. These are facts.
Vodka G Fuel time.
Yes. But
Maybe I need some of that.
yeah, so
No.
since then, we haven't been good since then. But at the same time, I mean, he had been here for 3 years and given it a shot. And there were some things around our young players where he didn't want to. He valued vets over young players and different things like that. So yeah, I think.
So you think it's a good choice?
I'm okay with it. I wanted him to do one more year just to see.
Yeah.
Because he got us close. But fact of the matter is, he didn't make a case on why he shouldn't have got fired. Like, he didn't, 3 years and you don't get a team to the playoffs. You give us our best year yet, but, all that tells me is, this is something I've been saying, Kings fans have to have higher standards. When our standards rise, our performance and where we get will rise,
Yeah,
our place will
that's
rise.
true.
So if we just look at it he almost got us to the playoffs. Oh, this is our best year since. Well, yeah, we've been crap since then. Let's get someone in here and have them get us to the playoffs.
Right, now almost to the play. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
So is Luke
and
Walton
his
the-
record towards the end of the season was worse after we got better players and pieces that we needed. He lost more games as far as percentage wise.
Is Luke Walton the guy? Is he a good coach?
I'm not convinced. I think he is a good coach. I think he has good qualities. I think he's inexperienced. I think it's too early for him to be a head coach. But I don't even count last year because, LeBron went there, and, when LeBron goes to a team, he's the coach. So the first year that he was down there, he had young players. He believed in them. Dave Yeager had young players but wanted to play vets more. So you start to see some of the things where the ideals are different. Luke Walton came from Golden State, where they played up tempo, they got the ball down fast, and they had two great shooters. We have Buddy Hield, who in shooting percentage was only right behind Steph Curry, and for the first 3 years in the NBA, he beat Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Dame Lillard for the most threes in 3 seasons. And he shoots 42%. So it's obvious he knows how to get shooters open. He likes to play up tempo, and he's younger, so he can relate to him better. Those things make sense. I'm just still not totally convinced.
Yeah.
You got to tell if this is a good deal or not. In NBA 2K.
In NBA 2K.
Try and make it. Try to do this deal and then see what happens.
So it's funny that you say that, right? Because, Kings didn't get into the playoffs. In my career, I got us to the playoffs, so I'm actually playing playoff games right now.
Damn.
In mine, so, but I'm going to do...
Did you apply for the head coach position?
Not yet.
That's fine.
On Monday.
Update your LinkedIn profile.
Top of your resume, let Vladdy know that in NBA, I got the Kings to the playoffs.
Yeah,
my first season with the team.
That's what you say in the interview. Corey, in his interview, he said that he made Katrina Law blush. In your interview,
yeah.
Well, my NBA 2K career, we have 5 rings. So
Well, obviously, I'm qualified for the
come on,
job.
Vladdy. Just come on.
Yeah, but we'll see how it all goes. But I will be making a my GM mode, so I'll be taking the Kings through a season, and I may. I just realized something though. Guess what? In my career season, we started off the year with Dave Yeager, and he is not the coach anymore.
What?
I just realized that.
Dang.
He's not even the coach anymore in my career. Well,
They knew.
There you go.
Vladdy sent
That's how you know it's good.
He let him know.
pretty much. There it is.
All right. So what about you, David? What you been playing
Apex.
Ooh, nice.
on that Apex grind?
On the Apex grind still. Switched up my character. I was rocking a lot of Pathfinder and Bangalore with a little bit of Mirage. Switched to why am I blanking on his name? Shield guy.
Shield guy. Really?
Yeah.
Why him?
I like that shield. I like having that shield, and I crouch down low so the shield pretty much covers all of me, and I just sit there and just. I've been getting more kills as him than with my other characters.
All right. Hey, you got to throw a bunch of things at the wall and see what sticks in some games.
I think for me, I have a hard time backing off. If I engage, I engage.
That's good.
But there's times when it's okay, I should back off, heal up, or take cover or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just kind of I recon Star Kit. I just go in a straight line, and having that shield helps me. And I realized how much it helped me when I was playing Pathfinder a little bit after. I played like game after game after game, and then switched to Pathfinder, and then I went into engage, and I went to go pop up my shield. And I didn't do anything, and I was like, "Why am I dropping? I don't have my shield!" So I had to zip line out really quick, gather myself, and then get back in.
Still chasing the first win.
Still chasing the first win. Closest I could get is 2, number 2.
Oh, if you're not first, you're last.
That's true. Ricky Bobby said
Because
that. Shake and bake.
I've had matches where you literally get second just by landing in the right spot.
That's what happened today. We got second on accident because we got tired of playing. We were playing on Emma's stream. It was me, Emma, and Steven, and we got tired of dropping in hot all the time. So we're like, all right, we've done enough firefights. Let's try and last a little bit longer. So we went all the way to the back of the map, worked our way forward, and got some good loot. And then all of a sudden I just happened to look up. I'm like, oh shit, guys, it's us and one other team. And it was like round 3. And so the map is so big at that point. So I'm like, okay, this is going to take forever. Like within 5 minutes, we had lost.
Jake, my cousin, came up from Fresno. And he's so proud. He just built his first PC.
That's awesome.
So we were going through last night, spent like, you know how he of course ghetto rigged it to where he took like a hard drive out of a laptop and plugged it in just so he could keep the OS, you know?
Yeah.
So like, we were just downloading drivers and trying to tell this thing that it's not a laptop anymore. And then finally, after like 6 hours, we get Apex installed and we run through. First match, his very first drop ever. We kind of get wrecked, you know? And then our second map, I don't know, he just kind of picked it up where he was just following around me, and we had this rando guy, and it was one of those drops like you were talking about where we didn't see anybody until the last fight.
Yeah.
We still had white armor and basic weapons, and we just got there at the right time because 2 dudes got in a fight, and we just come sliding down the hill, basically throw a grenade, pop. You are the Apex Legend. So
Damn.
it's like, yeah. So Jake got his first win in his second match, 30 damage,
What the
0
damn hell?
kills.
Wow.
What the damn hell?
It's good for him, though.
I've been kill leader, and I haven't gotten a win.
Yeah, man.
Sucks.
Let's see. Nexus, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a little bit more Magic the Gathering Arena. It's like all I've
Nerd!
been playing recently.
You're really sold out for this. We were talking about it before the show.
Yeah.
You were going through and showing me all the decks you want to build.
Oh, yeah.
How did you get into this and why?
So, well, I got into physical Magic first. At TwitchCon, they did, TwitchCon last year, they did, in the swag bags, you got the 60 card pre-built, like, welcome decks.
Okay.
And I got 2 of those, and I was looking through the card art, and I'm like, man, I really, like, want to get into this, because the art on the cards is so beautiful and well done that I'm just like, I could enjoy seeing more of this. And then
I wouldn't mind looking at this for an extended
my
period of
eyes
time.
had a conversation with my brain, and we came up with the decision that we would like to see more of
exactly
this.
like looking at the what are the names of those guys that I was like, hey, I really like them from this book.
The Eldrazi.
Yeah, the Eldrazi.
Yeah.
Just like the weird writhing flesh. Yeah, I'll see more of that. So yeah.
All right. You're super duper into this. Well, how are you rationing, like, because the card game could get expensive,
Yeah.
and then also the game, unless you grind a lot, can also be expensive. How are you rationing digital cards versus your actual ones?
I mean, like, I don't know, man. I just do whatever. I don't have a plan for it. I'm just doing it. Like, I never like spending money in games when I can build up the in-game currency, because it just feels like really weird to me to buy like the other currency to be able to get more things, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I want to earn it, like feel like I've earned it instead of paying to get all of these cool things. And then in physical Magic, I'm paying to get all of these cool things. So that's how I ration it.
I'm glad you were, because I was more asking for advice, because when I'm terrible at that.
I have no advice.
When I was playing Magic Arena, it was getting more expensive for me than the cards, and then I got hit with a thing like, man, I'm spending money on these booster packs, but I don't get to keep it forever.
Yeah.
And like we were going through the my binder when you came here, and there was a page in the back that I'd forgotten all about, and I was remembering, hey, back in the day that was like a $15 card. What is it now? And it was $75.
What?
It was $75.
So you
An
sold
old-
that card.
An old foil Shockland.
Yeah.
From like what, 2010?
Yeah,
Right?
it was these
Yeah.
crazy lands where they put like one in every 20th box or something like that, and somehow I ended up with one of them. So
That's crazy.
it's fun. I enjoy Magic the Gathering. It's on the come up digitally. They're putting a ton of money into the esports of it because they're trying to go head to head with Hearthstone, and so
But Magic's so much better
They had-
than
It is.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
It's Hearthstone.
They had a big presence at TwitchCon last year when you were there. They had a whole like big booth.
yeah, they're going for it. All right,
What are you
you've been
playing,
playing anything? Oh, me? Oh, thanks for asking. You know, I thought
Why did you ask?
what I was gonna try and do was I was buying off the hype of this Borderlands 3. Like, the trailers are so good. I started bringing back all those fond memories with my friends, and so What's cool is we didn't even report on it, but if you owned the Ultimate Collection Borderlands 1 on Steam, you get a free updated version called the enhanced version.
Oh yeah,
where they went and retextured and everything, and it looks incredible.
Looks so good. That's what I have. I have the Game of the Year enhanced.
Yeah, then the enhanced version just drops into your library if you already have it. So if you're like thinking about replaying it, it's pretty cool to look at.
Dope.
But that game did not stand the test of time.
No,
not at all.
I played it on Thursday with Rachel and Aaron and Steven, I think. Mm-hmm. It was fun, but I've never finished it, so maybe it's just because it's like second time playing it. I had fun with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure because we played it a bunch of times in the past. Like it's just not. I just don't think it aged well as far as especially a port to the PC. And the reason why is the most exciting thing for me was that I'm improving my aim on mouse and keyboard. I'm not great by any means, so I wanted to get better. And usually in a hyper competitive thing like Overwatch or Apex, you're just so tense and stuff. You don't get time just to kind of practice your aiming casually. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play this and then just work on my mechanics and become a better aimer. But they took the auto aim feature from like the console, and so tracking is not important. And then I had forgotten things I didn't like the accuracy rating in your guns. So some guns, even if you're aiming well, don't just have a weird RNG aspect to it where your shots will miss.
Yeah, but if you use it more, then you get better at it. Your proficiency at it goes up, so then you will miss less.
Yeah, but it's still the gun itself just has the chance to miss.
Oh,
it's not like I want to aim, I have this gun, I shoot this. It's this gun has accuracy RNGesus numbers in there that are just rolling the dice basically.
Yeah.
When I just want a shooter.
You just want to shoot, yeah.
And then the whole first part is pretty much just run from place to place. You end up just trying to get it done faster, so you use the buggy and just run things over. We just all of us were playing, and then at one point, like, we were all having fun conversations, talking, and then we were just like, what are we doing again? Why? You're kind of chuckling at the jokes, but it just didn't have that same impact as it did before. And they did make so many good quality of life updates in Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
That I think I might just start on Borderlands 2.
Starting 2?
Yeah. I might just call it on Borderlands 1. I mean, I don't need the credit, or I don't need the street cred. I played it. I put more hours into it than I probably should have at this point.
Did you finish it? Like, you've beaten it, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Then the start. The only reason I'm playing through it is because I haven't beaten it, so I'm gonna play through it, beat 2, and then go into 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Ever had that where you went back and played a game and it just didn't age the way you remembered it?
I only play good games.
Damn.
So I don't know.
I got probably Banjo-Kazooie, just more in the sense of the camera is weird on those old games, like especially on the N64. I'm used to being able to kind of control the camera a little bit more, and like it's hard aiming. Like with Banjo, like you could shoot the eggs from the board could shoot the eggs. It's hard aiming because you're in this weird like almost fourth person view, and then the camera angles are like odd. So I don't know. I mean, I have fond memories playing it as a kid, but playing it now, it's not as fun.
It's like with Super Mario. Is it Super Mario
64?
Sunshine. I think it's Sunshine.
Sunshine?
Yeah, is that the one where you have to like spray all the paint and stuff like that? I don't know, man. I think that's Sunshine. It's the same thing. The camera was just like it was a GameCube game.
Yeah. Okay.
The camera was so terrible. Like
Yeah.
I don't even remember you being able to actually control it unless you like moved a certain way. And I'm just like, oh god, this is actually awful.
But when you played it, like when you first played it, you didn't think anything of it because like that's just how games work.
No, I first played it recently.
Oh, okay. Well,
I first played it like not even a year ago.
For the rest of us played it as a kid. And that was the top of the line. Then like, you didn't really think about how bad the camera angles were.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Resident Evil 1 was hard to go back to as well.
Yeah.
I forgot about those tank controls, to be honest. Like my mind edited that out of the history books, and all I remembered was like the fun puzzles and shooting the zombie's head off, and like I remember that kind of stuff, but I did not remember like how you had to walk, turn right, go forward, and you just kind of got that awkward stomping sound effects as you're just kind of going in the same circle.
Yeah. What about number 2 though? Not the re-release, but
I didn't. So I need to play the re-release to see like how I feel about those controls.
yeah, I haven't played the re-release yet.
So we have a bit of news for everybody today. We have it's a Star Wars paradise out there right now. Was this part of like some convention or something? Like, why did we get all this Star Wars news at once?
Star Wars Celebration is going on, which is put on by Disney. They were doing it. I think they tried to do it every year for a minute, but they've gone back to doing it every 2 years. And what's interesting about Star Wars Celebration, and particularly this year, is most conventions you go and then whoever's covering it, people on social media or actual media throw the videos up on YouTube, XYZ. Well, this year Disney took it upon themselves to live stream the entire event. So for all the big panels, those are all streamed live, and then in between those they have like a crew out there on the con floor.
Wow.
And they're going around to tons of different vendors and just kind of showing them off. So I think it's kind of a game changer, because you always think of cons and mystique and the exclusivity of like being there or like catching the media after the fact. So for them to live stream the whole thing, it was like 33,000 people watching live on YouTube.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that was like on the downtime. That wasn't even during the main panel when they debuted the trailer.
So what do we got? We got, I guess we start with the movie. What's the deal with this movie? Rise of the Skywalker. It's got voiceover by Lucas Skywalker, who we at last saw was dead. Which in the most bullshit way possible. Like, I was so mad when I left that last movie that once I saw this trailer came out, I kind of just anger watched it. Like, see, okay, how else can you desecrate the legacy of Luke Skywalker?
By naming the movie after him.
Now his name is on the fucking movie.
So that trailer, I saw this one. Who put it? Geek and Sundry, I think, put it out. I don't know who the original creator is though. Where it's the opening scene of the trailer, where you have Rey with a lightsaber and she's watching that speeder coming at her, and then she runs and like jumps right. So they put this song "Jump" across like over it.
Oh my
So and they timed it just right. So like it's building as she's running, it's starting to build, and then as she like and it goes jump, and she like jumps backwards with the lightsaber.
Jump. Yeah.
Wait, is this Van Halen jump?
Yeah, Van Halen jump. And jump, and she like. So.
Yeah.
That's the one, guys. That scene though, like we're talking about the trailer now, right? That's where we're going. That scene is so cool. Thinking about how, because like right before it cuts away, you could see the angle she's at. She's gonna chop that son of a bitch in half. Like she's gonna open up that cockpit like a can opener, and just like land on the other side and just watch it crash. Like that's how that scene's gonna be, and it's just epic.
Yeah.
Word.
It was good. It was kind of cool. I think I'm just kind of confused. I don't know. I feel like I'm old and confused.
Because
like I
of the
feel like
title?
I understood it at one time, kind of where the plot was going before the big reboot.
Yeah.
Because I knew some of the, followed a couple of the storylines in the books.
Right.
I wasn't like hardcore into them, but I kind of knew like, oh, after this plot, this happens, and then these things happen, and then Chewbacca gets crushed by a planet, and you just kind of know the beats. And then they came through and retconned everything.
Yeah.
And I've been watching the movies, but I feel like they're so spaced apart. I always forget what was happening 2 years ago when the last time we saw them.
That's true, yeah.
Because they offset it with these other ones like Han Solo. Yeah, these other kind of prequels.
Anthology series, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that too. This one, I had to kind of remind myself like what's going, like Rey. Like I think last we saw Rey and Kylo. Like, did they go on the run to get? No, Kylo went on the run, and Rey was like, "Nah."
I can't even tell you.
I can't. I don't
no
remember.
idea.
I can tell you. So at the end of it, it was Kylo leading the First Order of what's left of it, and it seems like now Hux is in second command, and they basically kind of got left, and then what's left of the rebellion, they went out the back,
That's right.
space because Rey lifted up all those rocks.
Oh,
and then
that's right.
That's right. Okay,
So
got him out
basically,
that way.
Luke force projected him. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Last Jedi, which either you don't care or you have seen it by now. Luke force projected himself onto the planet and basically acted as a decoy. Sorry, Nexy.
Yeah. He
And-
did the
I
old
didn't
bamboozle.
listen to any of that,
No
so
way.
it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and then
Luke said, "Go bamboozle."
Go trick him.
Now I'm
then-
gonna be really disappointed if I watch the movie and there's no bamboozling.
Uh-oh, you will get plenty of.
The audience was the one that got bamboozled by that.
Yeah. But let's talk about some facts from the trailer real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure most people have seen it by now, and if you haven't seen it, here's a few beats that hit. Obviously, we get the name in it. We find out that it's releasing on Christmas Day, in case anybody didn't know before. We got glimpses, obviously, of everybody in their new outfits. Luke kind of narrates it, and he's implying basically that generations of Jedi knowledge is now within Rey. Some people may or may not remember that when the Jedi temple got struck down in The Last Jedi, that there was a series of books that Luke had shown her when she was in there. Before it got struck down, she had taken those books. So those books were removed and those books were with her. So that may imply that she read them all. I think J.J. Abrams implied that she read most of them, but not necessarily all of them.
I think they got burned. Just remember.
So
Okay.
keep that.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
please do not forget that, because
Okay.
I think there's a broader conversation that might happen after that. But anyway, so they imply that we saw that desert scene.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, like, is that Tatooine? Is that Jakku, where she was from? It seemed like Jakku
gotcha.
was kind of like a I don't want to say a recreation, but like a recall back to like Tatooine.
Right.
So
And they both start because there's a lot of parallels between Rey and Luke.
right.
Desert planet, no parents.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And then, of course, we see Kylo. Looks like he's fighting some people.
He choke slams a dude in a forest.
Right, with his lightsaber, which the physics of that was kind of weird. But
Yeah.
but that person had a interesting weapon in their hand. So if you look at it, some people are thinking that it might be Knights of Ren, that he's actually fighting against them. You also see a shot of Kylo's helmet getting repaired. We did see him destroy that in that elevator after Snoke take off that ridiculous helmet.
Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah, so so we see that getting repaired. We see a shot of BB-8 and a new droid. They brought the droid out and they had him roll around the stage. Got to sell toys, right?
Yeah,
Star
it's
Wars.
all toys. Porgs.
Report.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Everybody saw a clip of Lando, so that'll give people some nostalgic feels because he's flying the Millennium Falcon
Yeah.
and he's flying it with Chewie. So we saw that and we saw it go into hyperdrive. And then C-3PO was there. We saw him kind of getting some action, so we know again some of our favorites and nostalgic characters are still going to be there. There's a scene with Rey and Leia hugging, so we see Carrie Fisher. People think it's some of the leftover footage from Episode 7 because I heard that.
I think I heard something about that.
similar to
that
that.
he used a lot of uncut footage from there and kind of used that to put into this movie.
Okay.
To kind of as a way to get send her off.
Okay.
Basically.
Makes sense. And then kind of finally after that part, we start winding down. We see a full wide shot of the crew. Like finally everybody assembled because we saw Poe and Finn in there in their new costumes. But now we see everybody together. So it looks like they finally all go on an adventure together. Remember, as opposed to last movie, they kind of got split up.
They split the party.
Yeah. So now they're all together. And when you looked off in the distance, it looked like the leftover wreckage of the Death Star, the second Death Star.
Yeah.
catch that.
That's what I caught. I did see that in the
Oh.
back, and then when you hear the laugh.
Yeah.
The second one?
Yes.
I-
It can't be the first one because that one got blown up into pieces.
We saw that one get fucked up.
Yeah, but
exploded.
So that's how I took it though. Is it got blown into pieces and one of those pieces crashed onto the planet because the second one was bigger than a planet. It was huge. So I can imagine something that big,
Right.
basically demolishing a planet if it came in like a meteor, but something smaller, the size of like a moon,
Yeah.
would maybe not destroy the planet as much. It would probably fuck up the atmosphere, which is why if you look around it, that it's like it's weird kind of looking atmosphere. But I could see it being in the ocean.
So all to your point,
Yeah.
you know, it's Star Wars movie. They're using movie.
Exactly.
You're absolutely. I mean, even whether it was the bigger one or the small, more likely the smaller one would probably get burnt up by the atmosphere a lot worse than the bigger one. But you're right. Like the bigger one could be so big if it entered the atmosphere, it'd be like a meteor. So we're just gonna say it's the movie.
So I also think it's that because when did the new one get destroyed? Was it Force, was it this last one?
No, that was the First Order's
First
like
Order?
new thing. Then the second Death Star got destroyed in the Empire. In Return of the Revenge of the Sith. Oh no, Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what I meant. I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about the big one from.
from the new franchise.
From the new franchise.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this
then
is
yeah,
the Death
you're
Star.
right. The second one.
That one was called
Star
something
Killer or
else.
something?
Star Killer
Oh,
Base.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that was Star Killer Base.
I was
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Same page.
Yeah.
Same page.
And so to that point though, and that's the other thing you talked about, the laugh, and this is something controversial, and I want to extend this into the after show.
Yeah.
So the laugh happened. So here, let me set the scene. So people are watching the trailer. I'm watching it live on the stream, and then the trailer happens, and then after we see the Death Star, we hear a laugh.
Yeah.
And at first thought, it's Senator Palpatine. It's Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you guys. I kind of had a double take, and I stepped back and I questioned it very hard. I was like, I think we're supposed to think that's Palpatine laughing. And the line that it says before, it shows Leia and it says, no one's ever really gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the laugh happens, and it seems like it's Palpatine. And then they had Ian,
The guy who plays him.
the actor who he came out, and in the Sidious voice, he was like, "Roll it again." And then everybody starts freaking out, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And then they play it again. Fortunately, I was like, "Yeah, I want to hear it again." And when they played it again, I was like, "That sounds more like Mark Hamill's Joker laugh than it sounds like Darth Sidious." Mark Hamill has a deeper tone.
Yeah.
And I know what the Joker laugh sounds like because I've been listening to it since Batman the Animated Series. I'm
Right.
very familiar with it. And if you go and you listen to Sidious' laugh, his is a little more high pitched, a little more of a cackle, a little more like a man on the edge of coughing when he's talking. So once we get into the after show, I actually put the link in the show notes to different clips, and I want us to compare them
All
and
right.
see. Yeah.
I did see something though that J.J. Abrams confirmed that Palpatine is back in this one.
So if you watch the panel, because I watched it right after
Okay.
and he was talking about it, the way that they talk does not he doesn't say that he's the main villain. It just implies that he's a part of it. Now, Yoda was a part of the last one.
Yeah.
He came in as a Force
True.
ghost.
Okay.
We see the laugh and we see the Darth Star, and he died as far as we know, he died in the Death Star,
Yeah.
from Darth Vader, throwing him down there when he, made the change. So that seems to be implied. I think if he shows up at all, it'll probably be in a flashback or someone's vision. I don't think they're gonna bring him back.
That's true, because that was just a headline I read. I didn't actually read the article, so they could have been clickbaiting me.
Yeah, and that's the tricky part about it. I think because the thing is, he comes out after the laugh happens, and I think people let the visual affect their ears and what they really heard, and then it comes again. We'll take it into the after show.
We'll take it into the after
I just
show,
wanted
for sure.
to bring that up for a second.
And then we also got so lucky as to get a new Star Wars video game trailer.
Ooh, yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Which is cool because I had some theories about what that could be, and it was either what I was kind of hoping for was when it said the Fallen Order. I was hoping that was going to be like a group of Jedi that had kind of fallen in the eyes of the Council, and they were more like gray Jedi, like not necessarily like they had taken on some of more of like the dark side of the Force, and I thought it was kind of like it was like they had fallen from grace from the Council kind of thing. But it seems like it's actually more in tone with like Order 66.
Yeah. So Curtis, you had give us a sense of when the timeline of this game takes place.
So, according to what they have here, the Jedi Fallen Order takes place, it seems like immediately after Order 66 is given out. So for anybody who's not familiar with Order 66, when the Jedi were still helping the Republican part of the government, Palpatine obviously was the senator, and there was an order that he created to go on command for if the Jedi ever turned against the government. Obviously the clones or anybody a part of the government would go to execute them. So obviously as Sidious rose to take his power and finally start to show people that he's not Senator Palpatine, he is Darth Sidious, and take over the Republic, he executed Order 66. So any remaining Jedi,
Order 66.
that's right, get taken out. Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. I was watching it just without any knowledge of what was happening outside and what people were saying. And so the trailer opens up, and you get that it's made by Respawn Entertainment, who's riding super high right now off of Apex.
Right.
These are the guys that did Titanfall. They were responsible for the original Call of Duties, or the big Call of Duties, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Right.
And so they don't jump and say Star Wars to me. And then the game, it's a cool like cinema trailer, but it doesn't really give you any like thing to latch onto what this game's going to actually be like. I don't know if I see Respawn, so I'm thinking shooter.
Right.
But then the messaging through the characters' voice lines are saying things like "stay in the shadows," stay hidden. The rules to survival are this. So you feel like you're almost like going to be underground or sneaking around type of stuff. So, and then the developer comes out and basically says all that stuff isn't true. This is just a beat 'em up type of game, or what do they call it? What's the actual classification?
They said it'll be a melee action game where you wield a lightsaber and wield force powers.
So no, it's not a shooting game, which we really know them for. This is a adventure beat 'em up, which the last time we had one of those from them was the Force Unleashed. Was that the name of it?
Was that Respawn? That's...
No, it wasn't Respawn, but it was.
EA?
It was
from EA.
Was Force Unleashed under EA?
I think no.
No,
that was Skywalker. That was
LucasArts, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They did both of those, two of those, and then before that there was one called the Jedi Order or something like that. I can't remember. Outcast. Jedi Outcast.
Okay.
Another like adventure beat 'em up that's super good. So Star Wars lends itself to that very well.
Right.
But I just feel like this trailer was confusing, didn't tell me what it was, and then when I start thinking about the first time I saw the Force Unleashed trailers and how exciting they were, I actually watched it immediately after this one.
Okay.
And if you watch the Force Unleashed 2 original trailer, like not giving you gameplay but trying to get you hype, it looked better.
Okay.
Like, the graphics were actually better, and the character they give you is pronounced, and you know exactly what you're getting into with the game. I'm worried about this because I don't feel like it's marketing itself right.
I think that's the style of a lot of marketing, though, for games nowadays. It's kind of coming more at it from a cinematic standpoint,
right?
Like movies, or like movies do, especially with Star Wars. Like coming at it from the standpoint of like the new movie coming out. They talk about the Star Wars Celebration. They're gonna do more of a cinematic kind of thing, and I feel like a lot of games do that for like the first like 3 or 4 trailers, and then you get some gameplay, but even that is usually, I mean, look at Anthem. We got gameplay with Anthem, and it wasn't actually gameplay. You know what I mean?
What do you think, Nexy? Because you don't even watch Star Wars, and you watched
I
the trailer.
have no idea anything.
You saw it now twice. What do you think of it?
I think the trailer for the new game, like, I don't know. I don't really understand. Like, I don't get what entirely is going on, and even more so because I don't know the franchise very well. But it just didn't feel like something that was kind of easy to connect to or understand. Like, oh, this is gonna be like a really interesting game, because you have no idea what you're getting into. You just have very like ominous, incredibly vague, and it's not even like. It's worse than a teaser trailer, in my opinion. Like, it's not. I didn't think it was very well done.
I think
personally.
Go ahead.
Let me say a few things real quick. First, or some perspective, I'll say. I don't think anybody's wrong here, but I'm starting to think of like, hey, like, what is the context? Where are they releasing it? X, Y, Z. So they're releasing. First of all, I'll say I don't think this. Obviously, this is going to be the last trailer. I think this trailer is specifically made for Star Wars Celebration, where you have like the Star Warsiest of the Star Wars fans. Okay. So everything that they put in there, Star Wars fans are going to pick up on and kind of already know and key in on. So I don't think I don't think this is going to be the only trailer. The next trailer that they do, I think they are going to make it more broad and kind of make it appeal outside of it more as just a game. A few things that they have already said and put out about the game. So obviously Lucasfilms and EA Respawn Entertainment unveil Star Wars Jedi, but it's coming out November 15th. Single player story based game. Okay. No microtransactions and no loot boxes. Vince Zappella, CEO of Respawn, revealed at a panel, obviously in Celebration going on in Chicago, We talked about it's going to be a melee action game, lightsaber, and you're going to wield force powers. The villain is Second Sister Inquisitor, a new Jedi hero, a Padawan named Cal Kestis. So that's going to be the character that you play. Survived Order 66. So he survived the Jedi extermination. And he's going to be hiding in plain sight in hopes of keeping the Jedi Order alive. So basically, he survived the extermination of the Jedi. I'm going to assume he doesn't know all of who else survived. So this person who was a Padawan, he wasn't even a Jedi Master yet, actually survived and feels this responsibility of keeping the Jedi alive until, however long. Until he rebuilds it.
So is he one of the younglings that ran away or something? Or do we think he grew up in a world where Jedi was gone? Or do you think he was like a Jedi warrior who just happened to escape?
They say right here that he was a Jedi. He was a Padawan and he survived. So
okay, so yeah, that's a little bit older. He still got the ponytail, maybe.
So think of Anakin circa what was the second one?
When he hated sand.
The Attack of the Clones. So think of to me what it sounds like is it's kind of going to be like a survival game, kind of keep it low key. But I mean, anytime let's say there might not be that much stuff. Let's say there is. We don't really know. But anytime where there's a game like that, like if someone approaches you, like you can only be so quiet. Like if you gotta kill somebody, you gotta kill somebody. But all that to say, I think I think we're only seeing what they expose to the most elite of Star Wars fans, and I think later they will do a better trailer. But I totally understand for someone who, anyone who isn't in the Star Wars, or you are, but you're not current on it. I can see all you have to do is like really look at the story and take it, and you either like it or you don't like it. It makes sense.
I think it's going to be a good game, just because.
You think so?
I think it's going to be a hard game to mess up, because Star Wars, like I said, those games where you get to be a Jedi, which it says at the very end of the trailer, become a Jedi.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of high hopes for the game, because I remember those Force Unleashed games, and you get these hordes of dudes, and you get to get creative with your powers. You got the Force pushes, and or if there's only one dude, you could fucking mind trick him into fighting his homies. Like, there's a bunch of ways you can approach a situation when you're a Jedi. It's one of the most fun fantasies to live out in video games.
I want to see some gameplay, because like that's my thing. I'm like, I think everything about, I mean, minus the trailer being what could be conceived as vague, I get it, but I want to see some actual gameplay, because even though I actually did enjoy the trailer, I didn't walk away thinking like, oh, this game is going to be dope. I walked away personally think like, okay, this is a story that I'm definitely interested in seeing play out. So even though I like the trailer overall, I'm still pretty skeptical on what the gameplay is going to be like.
Yeah.
Not just going to jump on the bandwagon like most Star Wars fans, I might.
Right. And like I said, and that's the point. Like literally it's a Star Wars event, and they gave this directly to Star Wars. So I think the expectation was we're going to give them something exactly that they're going to eat up, not necessarily what is the best trailer to sell a game to a broad audience.
Exactly. Like, and that is completely like fair for me to be like not as understanding, because it's the whole Star Wars event.
Yeah.
And I is whatever opinions I'm putting on this first trailer, it's just because I don't know the franchise, but I'm actually really excited to see. It looked good.
Right.
I was just really confused and didn't know how to connect with it.
Yes.
So
because they said Order 66. Like if you didn't know what Order 66,
no idea
you wouldn't know that means the extermination of like that was what made Luke necessary. That's when there wasn't that many Jedi around, and he was the chosen one that Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn basically tried to go and
I think
mostly
prequels though.
I was very young.
Okay.
I have no recollection of any of them. But it's like I wasn't able to pick up on those context clues in the trailer, but it did look really cool. It just seemed a little bit weird. I think the biggest part that was off to me was the fact that they're like, oh, there's no stealth in this game, but then the narration is like, don't stand out, and I'm like, okay, wait.
It's very confusing. So
what's happening here?
We got some more news that came in over the wire too with Marvel and this Disney Plus streaming service. They're gonna have a lot of content.
Yeah, they're gonna have tons of content. There's more than I actually put in the notes, but I just put the two things that were kind of relevant to what we all care about, which is Marvel and Star Wars. There's Pixar stuff. If you guys want to check that out, you can just look it up and you'll see the stuff for Pixar. You'll see them talk about the Fox stuff. But let's talk about the Marvel stuff. So the Disney platform is going to launch on November 12th, 2019, and they are going to have Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic content. For the Marvel content, Captain Marvel is going to be available day one of the streaming service, so you'll be able to watch it on any device that you can download the app for the platform.
That's kind of just throw that one out there. I mean, do we really think it wasn't going to be available everywhere by November?
Yeah, I mean, not that they didn't. I mean, yeah, of course, they're just throwing that out there, and they have
because
to.
It's
it just
the hottest
crossed,
one right now.
Yeah, I mean, it just crossed $1 billion. So
Yeah.
if your movie makes $1 billion, it's kind of remiss to not say, hey, by the way, that one's going to be there too.
That's gonna be included.
Of course, it's going to be there just like everything else. The next Spider-Man will probably be there by
Well,
then.
I think for it wasn't so much of like, hey, it's gonna be on there, but it's like at launch, this is gonna be there.
Launch title, yeah.
Launch title.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it after. And they did even say that Endgame, by that time, Endgame will be there day one as well.
Oh, there we
So,
go.
Which I have some interesting thoughts about that. They have it is called Wandavision.
Oh my god.
It's one word.
Can we talk about this for a second?
Scarlet Witch and the Vision.
Is this like Nintendo Vision?
Wandavision. You could come up with a better name. You could come up with even okay, the next one, the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like that's a better title. Like you get Scarlet Witch
You know
and
what?
the Vision. Like
That's 100% accurate. I was just about to say, like, even if it was Wanda and the Vision,
that would have been better.
yeah, that
Wandavision.
seems better. WandaVision. Seems like they started a podcast together. Is what it sounded like. We need a clever name for our podcast, our couples podcast.
Oh no.
WandaVision.
I have a feeling it's going to be heavily based on the Tom King Vision run on Marvel that he did, because it had tones of kind of like WandaVision, like the Vision in the family, like it kind of had that Brady
gotcha.
Bunch kind of cheese.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like that era WandaVision.
Yeah, and it's weird because he juxtaposes it with like immense tragedy, you know. So yeah, it's the last thing that Tom King wrote that I liked.
It's interesting too. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
that's a duo that I was not expecting. I'm not upset at it.
Yeah,
but I'm looking back. I'm like,
Civil
is
War.
this just based on the one scene they had together in Civil War when they fought Spidey? And then like the execs were like, that's a buddy cop.
They got chemistry.
Oh wait, car scene. Remember when he was kissing?
Oh, that's
the girl?
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
scoot your seat up? No. I hate you.
Yeah, that's true. So that, and then yeah, but even still, like, okay, so the two scenes that they had together, like,
Hey, when you see it, when you know.
I
I mean,
mean-
tell me you weren't thoroughly entertained by all of their banter.
that is true. That is true. That I will grant you that. But was like, I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this service because I don't think we said it already. It's $6.99 a month.
Yeah.
Like that's an easy decision.
Yeah. To start until they raise the price.
Yeah, just start, yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch a show because of that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of bizarre to me to see, and kind of exciting to see that they're going to have these series, like Netflix series were awesome, in their own
Right.
right. And they were taking like people, a lot of no-namers, and kind of putting them into these big roles. And we were always like, oh, will those guys make it up to the movie? Will
Right.
they get promoted into
Yeah.
the movie?
Yeah.
And now we have these, and it doesn't necessarily feel like they're being demoted.
No.
It's just, are we getting, how many episodes? Are these hour-longs, or is this...
I don't recall them stating that information yet. They're still, it's the initial launch, so they're just basically giving you names and times, but they didn't get specific on like lengths, like how many episodes and like length of the episode and stuff like that. I don't think
We don't even know what the shows are gonna be about yet.
No.
We just know titles
Yeah.
and who's starring.
So,
Yeah.
if you had your choice, do you think this would be better as like, imagine a season being 30-minute episodes, like sitcom route,
Yeah.
or would you rather see it like current Netflix route where it's like 10 episodes each an hour long, or would you rather see longer form where it's like a 3-part miniseries? Which of those do you think serves these characters that we already know from film?
I'm gonna say definitely not a miniseries.
Yeah.
I would say one of the others, but it's hard to know. Like, it's hard to figure it out without knowing what the premise is going to be. Because, like, once
Yeah.
you know the premise and you're like, okay, I can only handle so much of that. Like, let's make it 30 minutes and have like a 25 episode season.
Yeah.
Like a sitcom.
I don't anticipate these being shows where they go beyond the storyline created for it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they have staff writers and, okay, what's Wanda and the Vision going to be this week, guys?
Yeah.
All right. They're going to run into Kiss and start and solve a mystery. Like, I think it's going to be a storyline designated. This is their arc, and then when it's over, it's over.
That's true.
I think the least likely is going to be like the 30-minute installments like that, like we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, all right, it's episodic. Who knows how long this thing's going to go? I think it's going to be somewhere in between Netflix or like, you remember Lonesome Dove? It was like this old Western miniseries, and it's one of the most iconic Westerns, but it came out on television, and it was like 3 movies that told one story. So it's like 6 hours. Like, it's long, but it's basically like they just dropped 3 movies all at once.
Okay.
I don't know which one I'd rather prefer. I don't think I want a 10-episode thing. I won't watch 10 episods of WandaVision. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I'll watch one episode of WandaVision.
If it was 3 1-hour things or something, I'd be totally in for that. Though.
I'll have to see. I'll have to see a preview. Once I see, like, based on the title alone, the title is just, it bothers me.
Yeah.
It's a dumbass title, and that's all we have to go off of. So based off of that, I don't know if I'll see it. I'm gonna watch The Falcon and Winter Soldier. I see that as being kind of a buddy cop kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that they dropped from Marvel Land on the?
There's going to be a What If animated series. So, yeah, they're getting back to that, the OG What Ifs.
Those were my favorite comics.
Yeah, and it's going to be the animated ones. It's weird because, like, Marvel has some decent ones, but DC tends to excel at Elseworlds a lot better than Marvel does. So I'm kind of interested on where they're pulling from, because I'll be honest with you, like, even their last round of like What If comics, like that came out of the Infinity Wars thing, the Infinity Warps, where it's like Captain America is also the Sorcerer Supreme, so they bashed the two together. I didn't really like them. Like, to me, yeah, they kind of sucked.
Do you think we're gonna see some plots from like the movies twisted? So like, because that's the whole thing about, you know. What If.
Is this just animated comic versions of What If, or is this based off of Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I bet
it didn't say.
I'm wondering if it's like, I bet you if it's MCU, if they're gonna use MCU, I bet you we see one where it's reversed and Steve Rogers becomes the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes is Captain America.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so let me turn that around. Marvel What Ifs will be the first animated series from the Marvel Studios, available, blah, 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 inspired by the books of the same name, but each episode will explore key moments from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
So where do we want to see him go?
Actually, I don't, now that I know that. I don't want them to mess with anything in the Marvel
It's animated,
Cinematic
so it'll be so easy, I think, for everybody to draw the lines of separation to where it's not going to take
it's
away.
Not canon or anything.
Yeah, everyone knows this isn't canon. It's just like, ooh, what would have happened?
It's just a what if.
All right, so will you guys tell me some of yours, because I can't think of anything I'd want them to play with.
I'd see what I was just saying. Bucky Barnes, Cap, and Steve Rogers, Winter Soldier. I'd see that, because we kind of got, you know, Captain America as a Nazi, and they kind of did that. I don't know. I didn't finish it. But, you know, like, from what I've heard, it's not that great. So I kind of want to see what they do with that. And it's kind of a gimme. I can definitely see them doing that. Like, that's kind of easy.
What if Quicksilver didn't die in Age of Ultron?
I don't know if they would do that. That seems dark. But maybe. I think it's dumb that he did, so I'd be interested in seeing that. What if Ultron, you know, what if there was no Ultron? Oh, what if they destroyed one of the Infinity Stones? Because they find them throughout the MCU. What if they try to destroy it beforehand? Yeah. Huh?
What if they do that in Endgame?
No.
Don't stop it, Curtis.
Stop.
And then there.
Darkness, my old friend.
Let me run through the Star Wars stuff real quick. So obviously there was Star Wars stuff on the platform. Excited to hear that Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk are joining forces once again on a new show based on Cassian Andor. That was the dude that helped them in Rogue One.
Okay.
There's also Star Wars: The Clone Wars will be available in year 1 of Disney Plus. The first ever Star Star Wars series The Mandalorian will premiere day 1 of Disney Plus. It will star Pedro Pascal. Gina Carano will be in it.
Hey, my girl.
Carl Weathers will be in it, which I'm stoked
My
about
man.
that. Rocky, or Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito, Emily Shallow, Omed Abtahi. That dude's pretty dope. And Werner Herzog is going to be the villain. Does anybody know who Werner Herzog is? Mm-hmm. He is He's one. He's one of the like crankiest, most badass old dudes that run the. He's an actor, but he mostly directs film,
Plays and stuff too. Right?
and he does plays and stuff. He does a lot of indie film. He got shot during the interview, and just looked and was like, "Oh, it is not bleeding. Go ahead and continue." Like he's a badass dude. Anyway,
That's amazing.
So yeah, and by the way, Jon Favreau is heading up The Mandalorian. So if anybody wasn't interested before, just know that quality is attached.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Video Game Bang. We appreciate everybody's support so far who've come over to the Patreon, patreon.com/videogamebang. And that's where, if you can't get enough of the bang and you like Game of Thrones, that's where you go. It only takes $1 donation. Basically, you get access to all of the VGB episodes. So you can go to patreon.com/videogamebang, sign up for $1. That gives you access to our Discord channel, and it also will give you all the episodes of Game of Thrones. Which starts tomorrow. So this is going to be an exciting time. David Webb, what's up, man?
I'll be on Good Day Sacramento. Saturday, 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. hour.
Sunday. Yep. We better get that right.
We better. I got the times right. You got the day right. Together.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I'm sure we'll be
Plus,
there.
Emma's mainly in charge of this, so
Yeah.
she'll get us there.
Yeah, exactly. Nexy, what's going on? How's the streams been?
I have not been streaming recently. I should be back hopefully next weekend. Saturday morning, probably doing some Saturday morning Stardew Valley and getting back into everything.
Hey. Curtis, what about you, man?
I will probably be streaming again next week, probably around Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday. I will be streaming definitely Tuesday, reading some comics. But if you guys keep your notifications on, I've been reading comics a lot. Shout out to Lost Sheep. I read issue 1 of East of West. I read issue 2 of Fatale, which is incredible, by Ed Brubaker, same dude that wrote Criminal. So I'm just gonna be reading comics on there Tuesday. Come check me out, and I'll be playing NBA 2K because I got the Kings to the playoffs, so I should be the Kings head coach.
If you guys enjoyed the show and are watching us on twitch.tv, we appreciate you, and you can listen to past episodes by going to iTunes, Spotify. I think we are on Audio Boom. Anywhere where there's a podcast, the odds of us not being there are pretty bad. So go there, download the show, rate it 5 stars. We really appreciate all that. And if you listen to it every week faithfully via RSS feed and podcast websites, you can watch us live on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights when we record the show live. But that's it. We're going to do an after show now where Curtis is going to blow our minds with some Star Wars. We'll probably end up talking about music.
We're going to listen to some country music.
Oh yeah, we got to listen to that weird math music. And Nexy gonna go into an existential crisis.
Thursdays
on UPN. For Curtis, yeah, David Webb. My name is Cory. Nexus is here. Was here. Saying
hello.
Later.
Goodbye.